Hey V, how you doing?
Fantastic, sir. Fantastic. Thank you for having me on board. How you
Fantastic.
going?
No, it's great.
Fantastic.
Nah, thanks. Hey everybody. We are streaming on a early morning for me, late evening maybe for V over in Australia.
Early morning, 12:30 a.m. So,
AM. Oh, okay,
yes.
cool. So, no, thanks for staying up with us,
Yeah,
coordinating
no,
this
for sure.
live. No, so I guess just to get everyone on board, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us. I have V from Smart Lead joining us. Hey V.
How you going? How you going? Thank you for
Good,
having
good,
me.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for joining. So I guess the reason for this call and for getting you here to join is this Zoho slap. I'm just gonna coin it Zoho slap. I will give credit to Mr. Russell Brunson for that, but yeah, this is that for the Google slap, but this is definitely the Zoho slap in my
Yeah.
opinion. And just to let everyone know how we got here, um, we've been seeing some funny issues going on with Zoho. We want to talk about what they are, the issues that we're seeing, any solutions that we may have, you know, basically past, what's happened in the past, what's happening currently, what we're going to do moving forward, because we're trying to seek solutions. So I guess just to take it all the way back, V, who are you? Why, like, how do I even know you? Why are we on this call right now?
Yeah, for sure. Um, Super quick story. Ran an agency, grew it to a bunch of people, scaled it, and in scaling it, built a few SaaS applications. In growing those SaaS applications, did a lot of outbound marketing, which led us to build SmartWriter, right with the GPT-3 wave. And then we got told that the people did not like the emailing softwares they were connected with. So we said, great, we found a little gap in the market. We built our own solution. We grew it to where it is right now. We do outbound, email, and LinkedIn, and a bunch more cool stuff coming in. So that is a summary of Smart Lead, how I know you, and who doesn't know you, Andrew. Like if you're cold emailing, you need to know Andrew and Leadhype. So I'm actually subscribed to Leadhype. I was chasing Andrew for a long time for a meeting, and then through the grace of God, Andrew's like, "All right, I'm gonna give V attention," and I was like, "All right, sweet, I'm gonna smash the opportunity." So that's how we know each other. Yeah.
No, thanks for joining,
Yeah.
V. I think you are a good expert on this and this topic and whatnot. And I guess just to those people that don't know me, even though I'm streaming in my own Facebook group, Code Email Closers, I haven't, I don't think I've streamed this year at all. Um, I just haven't done a lot of content. We're doing some stuff internally. I'm spending a lot of my attention on rather than content, but I felt this was necessary to do this. But just a quick introduction about me. Sorry, I'm Andrew, founder, CEO of Leadhype. We run a cold email lead generation agency. I've been doing this for a decade. We're sending like 8 million cold emails a month, managing like 8,000 sender accounts right now with a team of maybe 15 to 20. I don't know how many we have right now, but fluctuates. But I basically taken everything out of my brain, given it to our team, and we built like this whole labor force around cold email. And apparently, I'm deemed a power user enough to get V's attention. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Definitely power user.
yeah. So I guess to just jump straight into it, V. I and I feel shameful even mentioning this live in front of people. My ego, who knows what's, but in all reality, at the end of the day, um, thus far, out of our roughly 8,000 Zoho accounts that we've managed, we've had roughly, I don't know the exact number, but roughly about 100 accounts banned thus far. The first
Hmm.
time that we saw the ban was roughly a month ago.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
and we had 30 accounts lost, an entire Zoho admin. We
Hmm.
didn't think
Hmm.
much of it
Hmm.
because it was, we have 8,000 emails. I'm sure, people that have a couple of emails, they lose one. It's their whole, you know,
Like a revenue stream that
tool.
just drops
Yeah,
away.
their whole,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but we're managing
Yeah.
about 8,000. And
Mhm.
my point is that 100's a lot. I'm thinking about it right now. 100 emails losing is a lot, but
It is a lot.
It's,
It is a lot. Yeah.
it's 1%, 1.25% roughly of the emails that we manage. And my fear is that it's going to continue to grow. And that's kind of why, you know, I nudge you. We're nudging everybody on the shoulder right now, saying, "What are you guys doing?" You know. So, what are your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, for sure. I'll jump in super quickly. I just want to preface everything that I say is insider conversations. Nothing is officialated. No one writes actual articles about this. It's basically forum conversations from people who don't want to reveal themselves as part of companies that they belong to. But full credit, the information.
And just a legal disclosure. This is not legal advice. Not telling you what to do. You know, get your own representation.
Absolutely.
Use your own
Get
brain.
your own representation. Use your own brain. Everything I share over here is pretty much just patterns that we see, similar to what Andrew has mentioned, as well as just patterns. And I think is important for everyone in the space to know. Anyway, putting all this aside, before anything, massive shout out to Felipe from Done For You Meetings. He's the one who actually put me across this. It's only because of him that I know this piece, but we also have a lot of conversations with Andrew as well, who's also had active discussions with me on these things. In short, here's the thing. Zoho was the darling of cold emails back in 2021, right? No one knew about it. Everyone figured out that it was $1.95 or $1.65 or something AUD, USD even probably less. So everyone ran into it. Zoho was not as established as an emailing platform as compared to Outlook or Gmail with respect to spam management, spam control, or even IP protocol rotation, right? For example, for those who don't know, Microsoft tenants are rotated every 2 weeks. This, again, information that was I learned from Nick Abraham, for those who know him. And you realize that there's a lot of systems built in place internally for protecting IP rotation by these larger players. So with that rambling on, in short, there's a larger blacklist provider called UC, and they sort of are, you can say, the big daddy from the quick reading that I've done on a bunch of other smaller, or what we commonly know as blacklist providers that we want to get checked against. And that particular blacklist provider was warning Microsoft, Google, and Outlook for a while to go ahead and ensure they put in some basic protocols in place. With the advent of multiple mailboxes, rotating mailboxes that has happened over the past 2 years, shoestring spamming, which is basically a mechanism where you bifurcate your IP address and spread your spam across multiple IPs to, send out emails, is a concept that has picked up, because each time you buy a domain, that domain is allocated to a certain IP pool in your DNS provider or your Gmail account or so on and so forth. And when you buy hundreds of those, or maybe thousands across multiple tenants, you're basically doing that, right? Now, we obviously want to assume that 95% of the world are selling cold emails with the intent of actually helping customers, but we do know there's 5% who, there's always bad actors in any business. So basically, UC reached out to these guys multiple times saying, put your protocols in place, otherwise I'm going to start blacklisting you.
You guys, who are you talking about?
Sorry. I say you guys. Sorry, I apologize.
Yeah.
When I say you guys, I mean the larger ESPs, which is Outlook, Gmail, and Zoho, right? So just be aware that this is something that is happening. We want you to put in the protocols in place to, make sure that you are taking care of our customers and users in general across the world. And I guess it was large enterprises, so slow pickings. They did not put a lot of attention to it. But nowadays we're seeing a bit more a tectonic shift that's happening, where we've now seen with Microsoft. I'll tell you each ESP and the situations that you might actually be experiencing with your own sending platform, whatever you're using. Microsoft has a situation where after some time, Microsoft basically deprecates your tenant into a low reputation IP address. This happens either when you're in the trial mode or when you've basically been caught for spamming or you got a high spam rate. Guess what? The way you can figure out whether you've been marked for spam a lot, something like Glock apps, or just opening the weird demarc message you receive with like the the cryptonic stuff in there, that actually has a lot of cool information that will help you understand. So Microsoft started doing that, but they have their own defense mechanism. You can message them to get it unblocked. Google started to do the thing, which is 2 layers. Now they associate your credit card to multiple domain purchases, so you can't go ahead and buy multiple Google accounts, which was initially not the case, but it is. And they've also put it in a lock now where you have to buy, and some people see this, some people don't, where you have to buy yearly contracts on Google. You can't buy monthly contracts anymore. So that is a bit of a commitment that you need to put in. With Zoho, what ends up happening is you end up getting your outbound email blocked. So they're not blocking your IMAP. You can still receive emails, but sending outbound messages are basically being blocked. So that is the main thing that we picked up across all these 3 things. And Zoho especially has gone pretty aggressive, just from what we've seen and what we picked up. I didn't notice this across our user base. And I put up a message because I saw somewhere else a bunch of other people were experiencing this. I thought I'd put a friendly notice to our team, to our users. I did that, I think, last week, Friday. And I guess it's just the way of the word, right? Monday, we had our first sort of mention that, hey, I just suddenly had this thing happen. And then 2, 3, 4, and then pretty much any sort of forum I go to, Facebook groups that I check out, the Zoho slap now becomes obviously that Andrew's verbalized.
Coining.
Yeah,
Just so you know, I'm coining that. The Zoho slap, that's me.
Yeah. So Andrew sort of coined that, has now become a thing that people need to be more aware of. So what does this mean in terms of cold email? Absolutely nothing. It's not a big scary thing at all. I think challenges are the best thing that can happen to anyone in our space, because it improves the barrier of entry, increases it, which then makes it more and more easy for the rest of us who actually know what we're doing, and we're guided by people like Andrew, people who actually understand the space, to go ahead and actually blast past that spam box, land in the inbox, get that customer's attention, and so on and so forth. So I think now more than ever,
I think go ahead, I apologize.
No, it's just now more than ever, focus on good practices, right? Don't spam.
Mass emails.
Yeah.
Don't just scrape all of LinkedIn.
Correct. Yeah.
So
correct.
I guess now is you just mentioned it's not scary, keep emailing, don't give up. Which is a very good segment to, has this happened before? Right.
Yeah,
so like,
yeah,
so like, if we're talking about it as this is a new development, which it is, but it's also not. Right.
True.
So that's something I want to make clear. I tell this story a lot, and I if you look through my old posts in my group and stuff like that, you'll see I don't post as much as I should, but you'll see I'll make a comment here and there talking about every 3 months, 6 months. There's something new, and right on time. It's another 3-6 months, and here it is again. And I do want to tell a very short story. Some of you guys may have even heard me tell it before. I was running back when I started the agency. So I started my agency, for those that don't know, I started my marketing agency in the beginning of 2019. Before that, I was doing finance, brokering lead gen, which is, and that's how I got into cold email. That's a whole nother story. But my whole point is, I think I had maybe, a handful of clients. I want to say under 10 at that point, paying me monthly recurring retainers. And I'll never forget, this was back when it was me and one teammate that I had on my team. I had one team member. And we were running, I believe we were running it's either 3 or 5 accounts per client. Right?
Yeah.
3 to 5 accounts per client. We're sending 300 emails a day per Gmail, per G Suite email, right?
Yeah. Okay.
300 emails a day. I would get greedy. We're getting a whole bunch of leads coming in, right?
Yeah.
I would crank it up to 350. My accounts would go to spam. I'd be blocked, right? So what did I do back in 2019? I warmed up. So what does warm up mean, right? Warm up 10 cold emails a day to real prospects. That's what warm up
Yeah.
was back in the
That
day, and
way. Yep. Yep.
paying for seed lists out of
Pretty much.
you know
Newsletters.
newsletters,
Yeah.
seed
Yeah.
lists. A lot of the guys out of India and Pakistan were
Yeah, I was
doing
gonna say like Bangladesh,
yeah,
India, Pakistan was
yeah,
the hub. You go
Bangladesh.
there. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
basically, you'd buy a seed list from them. You would email them. I don't know
yeah,
what they did on their back end, but they would basically
yeah,
do the warm up process before
yeah,
the guys over at
yeah.
the other company came up with their warm up platform for the first time in 2019. But my
Yes.
point is that cold email was different, right? We were sending 300 emails a day, getting crazy amounts of leads, right?
Yeah.
I'm getting these leads I'm getting are so cheap. It's insane I was getting crazy leads back in the day.
Yeah.
Uh well, gatekeepers,
Yeah.
crazy. But my point is that it was 300 emails per account with
Different
zero
world. Yeah.
automated. Was it's completely different world, right? But
Yeah.
here I am still here
Yeah.
talking to you, still sending cold emails, and now we don't have under 10 clients. We have literally hundreds of clients.
Hundreds. Yeah. Yeah.
And we have clients that have hundreds of clients that we manage,
Yeah.
and my point is that, but we're still doing it strong. We're still here, still strong today, running cold
Mhm.
email, right? So if we're seeing this problem right now,
Mhm.
is it safe to say that we could work through it? And if so, what should people be doing? You know what I mean?
Yep. Great question. Of course, we need to sort of rant on to what you sort of spoke about, right? People thought Facebook ads were dead when we had the Cambridge Analytica. People still pushed through, right?
Yeah,
People thought Google ads were dead.
yeah.
People still it's just hype news. We love negativity. That's how evolution works for us. Without getting philosophical, that's just how we operate as individuals. We get drawn towards negative
Yeah.
news, but it's not a bad thing at all. If you remember, actually, I think it was 22nd of May last year, Google announced two-factor authentication, which meant everyone had to just move from normal passwords and move to 2FA, which was a nightmare, right? Because then guess what? You had to come up with phone numbers, and then Google started blocking on the phone numbers. You could only put 10 phone numbers. But guess what? We're humans. We evolve.
SMSPVA.com.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, right? I was gonna say there's
Yeah.
a bunch of all these like
Yeah.
websites spawned up where you could just use that for OTPs, right? So
Yeah.
we evolve, we learn, we grow. So that's kind of what happens. So I think with this, it's not a big deal. It doesn't change the world. Just you can still use Zoho, just be more practical and don't depend on it as much. You can use Outlook and Gmail. What it means more so is we need to realize that if you're doing outbound and sales, as sales leaders or anyone in general, having an infrastructure in place or guidance in place is going to be more and more important, where it's almost like the evolution of a new role that comes in, where like you got DevOps who manages developer operations and AWS infrastructure. You have email operations, right? I think Andrew, you know this better than anyone, managing 8,000 different accounts. So that's what I would say is the next phase. And the other thing is people should stop treating email alone as a vacuum. Email needs to be treated in contention with other aspects. Social selling is a big aspect of our world nowadays. LinkedIn and omnichannel. Guess what? Yeah, LinkedIn announced their ban as well, saying you can't do mass connections. You can only do 20 a day. Didn't end the world. People still make a crap ton of money on LinkedIn, right? They find ways around it. So all I'd say is go for an omni approach. Don't just block yourself on LinkedIn. Make sure your clients have some sort of a social presence. Automate Twitter if you can. Use other tools that exist in the market to help you automate. We're in the world of AI. Nothing's stopping us from growing, right, and building the business. So in short, the world evolves, things move on. It does not end. Don't just do cold emailing alone. Do cold emailing along with LinkedIn, along with a bit of brand building, along with maybe giveaways, social selling. It's all there. It's all possible, and it's very, very achievable.
No, you're 100% right. One of the biggest, I gotta tell you while you're saying that, you say, keep pushing, don't give up. I see so many people give up so easy, and I feel like there's like a few emails away from getting that lead, and once they get that, once they get their first lead, and that's what I've learned. And once people get their first lead and get paid for the first time and have a real call is when they realize it works, and we're actually working on some crazy long-term coaching stuff program internally, but that's another story.
Yeah.
I guess and that is the future of it's not that it is, and it has always been omni-channel. You're 100% right, and it's not just that, it's the I have so many books on sales and marketing. It's just as Chet Holmes would say, the pig-headed determination is how he explains it, of not giving up. But yeah, you're 100%. I don't know where I was going with that. It sounded good in my head.
No, it's
Yeah.
you're not wrong though. Like, I mean, we look at our data as well, and we speak to and see people who want to leave SmartLead and those who want to stay and succeed with SmartLead. It's an app. It's very similar to e-commerce, I think so, right? You get that one ching on Shopify, and you probably spend like $800 to get someone to buy something for $15.
Yeah.
Completely loss making, but just like, I made money online.
Yeah,
it worked. Like,
yeah.
it finally worked. I think it's the same sort of thing with cold emails. I was actually speaking to another customer who completely switched their offer, and he sent me a message saying, "Hey mate, like I've done this. I've gone with this new angle now, and this is life changing, right? Like, I run a dev shop, and I just got jumped off a call. I jumped off a call right now, and they just signed me on for $5,000, and I had another one for another $6,000." That's new revenue that we did not know we could get, and it's just an arbitrage game. It's just fantastic. It's
from in what you're talking about is the dedicated email person.
No. So this was just like someone who runs a dev shop, and they were trying to use different angles to go ahead and close people to go ahead and buy,
Got it.
build apps for them, and then they found a new angle. And that just stuck with him, and he's just been closing deals left, right, and center. I was like, that's just the best you can.
I don't think people will believe me if I told them that we've ran 20 different split tests before. And I've wrote them all myself. People won't even believe me if they.
It's I think I'm sure we've seen all the influencers and the big guys put it, but there's genuinely no shortcut. Like, I wish I could find you a shortcut. There's generally no shortcut. You need to go through the rough patches to get to the next piece. We have a lot of people who message us saying, "Oh, what are good success rates?" I was like, I can't tell you what good success rates are. It really depends upon each campaign. But I can tell you, when I log into a customer's account who's doing well, you can see the amount of effort this dude has put in, or this chick has put in, right? Like, they've got 20 different variants on their subject line. Every single spin tax is spun across. They repeat, like they refresh their copy every 3 days. The bounce rate is less than 2%. Everything is like, pristine. And you can tell, if you put effort, you get the outcome. And then you have the other person is like, I don't care. I'm just gonna hammer this and just expect something to stick. So what's
crazy is that also works.
So that's the sad part, is like, it does work. It does work. Right?
But that's what's causing all these issues.
That's kind of why we're here right now.
I'm just gonna say it on here. My CTO co-founder made a comment about your platform. Platform and your competitor's platform, the rotated inbox platforms, let's call it that. How easy it is now for me, if I have the money, right, to go out and buy 1,000 domains. If I had the labor force, right, throw them on your platform. We own a scraping platform, so I can't really say that. I could probably use D7 Lead Finder, for example. The crappy old tool, right?
The old school one, we all knew
about
about that.
We all do. So I'll talk about D7, right? So I could get scrape all the USA, and they have bulk plans. In case you guys don't know, you just got to message them in live chat years ago. We were doing that, right? So they have like $1,000 a month plan. These guys, crazy limits. But so say you spend 1,000 or 2,000 on D7 data, right? You spend say you spend another couple grand on domains and emails. And this was the game, right? You know how cheap it is to send those emails? right now. It's insane. And then you
Correct.
got your competitors still. I don't know what their business model is or how they're doing
Yeah.
it, but they're charging 50, $60 per seat per email
Yeah.
slot, right?
Yeah.
And you look at a platform like yours, we're able to have 8,000 emails, sending emails all day. You know, a relatively, I'm going to say relatively inexpensive cost based on what you're
Yep.
getting, based on
Yep.
what you're getting.
Yep.
You know, so it's just my point. My whole point is, do you feel any responsibility? Oh, it's a horrible question. Listen, that's the whole reason you're on the call right now, is to publicly shame you.
To publicly shame me for what's happening.
Yeah, publicly shame you. Yeah.
So I'll actually flip this around the other way and use this opportunity to say, So it all comes down because I wanted to use Leadhype and I needed a bit of cash because the subscription was too expensive. So I built this. Yeah, I'm kidding. Leadhype's great for what it does.
No, but seriously, our platform is $6.95 a month, and we're giving like, I don't even know the data. We're giving like ridiculous amounts of credits. So that's exactly my point. So we're charging $6.95 a month for 50,000. Hold on.
Just, I think
it's roughly yeah, 10. I'm doing 10. Yeah, it's 10,000 email 10,000 clean emails a day is what we can provide after third-party cleaning.
Yeah.
So you're talking about 10,000, right? Times 30 days. That's 300,000 emails a month that we for $700. You know what I mean? You put that together with
you can make
a
money
dollar,
out of that.
a dollar a month Zoho slot.
Yeah. Pretty
right?
much.
Plus
Pretty
plus
much.
your platform. And that's the key. And what you said before was very interesting. Sorry to keep pivoting back and forth.
No, please. Yeah.
And that's something that I've also came to realize, V.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we've been positioning ourselves as fulfillment partners, because what you've said that you've realized the same thing that we've realized. Markets always shift, right? I think due to these platforms being so easy and accessible, it seems to me cold emails trending, right, for the past couple of years, more so than it has been back in the Mailshake days, Woodpecker days. And so it's trending, right? More people are doing it, more teams are doing it. And all these sales calls that we're taking, these people don't want to do the work, right? The people don't want to do the labor. And then not just that, but they don't want to train the team, right? They don't want to train the team to do the labor. So, well, like what you said is the in-house email guy. And if you want to talk about opportunities currently, that's definitely a major opportunity I shouldn't be sharing, but in the spirit of holding nothing back, you know, that's really where I think this industry is going. Because if you think about, and I'm doing a little rambling here, I'm sorry guys, I was looking you know how the Facebook, it tells you a year or two later a post that you made, right? So one of my posts was I screenshotted a job description, and it was like a growth hacker, someone that needs to do copywriting, marketing, like Facebook ads, all sorts of stuff. And this marketer also has to be a graphic designer at the same time. All right. And now this miracle person is only working for 50,000 a year.
Fair.
Full time for your agency, for your company. And what do you expect to get for 50 grand? And that's US dollars. You know, what do you expect to get what do you expect to hire for that? You know, with a real marketing skill set, you can't. The people that know what they're doing, they own their own agencies. You know, they're selling their own products, everything, their own offers, right? So, which leaves a shortage of labor force to do exactly what you're talking about, which is this whole. What are you seeing? I guess maybe you're seeing, like what we're seeing is we're seeing the tired. Our best customers have done it, generated leads, and they just hate it. And it's not your platform, it's not other platforms. It's just, it's tedious, right? It's a tedious thing. So but it makes a lot of money. So now you have a tedious thing that makes a lot of money, and you either have a lot of time or you have a lot of money, right? Or
One of
somewhere
those, yeah.
somewhere in between.
Yeah.
And the people that are our best customers are the people that
Yep.
would rather just pay us to manage stuff for them.
Yep.
Like what are you seeing on your side, maybe to give some insight into opportunities for the viewers that are also in the cold email space?
So would the
Like
question be,
trends, yeah, what are you seeing? Where's the market going? Do you really believe that there is this new job position that will be opening? Is it currently happening? Like what do
yeah,
you see happening? Just
the position's
general, I
already
guess.
opening. Position's already there. Like we deal with several people in a similar role to, I guess, what you do, right? You kind of are the role that I was speaking about, which is you sort of come set up their accounts, manage it for them, take care of it, and ensure that there's there's cleanliness in the entire system. And big enterprises pay serious money for someone like yourself to manage their entire system. So the role already exists. We saw people trying to offer that as services through our platform. I think somewhere early, what was it? December, before the month before December, November, I think so. In 2022. So it's been there for a bit, that already exists. The other thing that we're seeing in general is, again, it's that RevOps manager role, which is someone who comes in and understands that we know that it's difficult. People hate this whole process, but the thing is with cold emails, it's big ticket sales, right? So if you're selling $94 a month, probably not the best engine, but the average ticket you'd be making is, a couple of grand using cold emails. So the math just adds up. Like the to assume that outbound marketing or outbound sales is dead is to assume one of the largest industries in the world, which is a multi-trillion-dollar industry, no longer exists, which is just absolutely false. But it does change, where, like I keep saying, like I said in the past, is you can't just go ahead and absolute random brand go send that to someone, say I'll make you 10 grand. You need to back it up with proof, social proof, like actually exist on the internet. I believe my dad told me this. It was back in his day when he was doing sales, it was 7 touch points, right? Back in the 90s and early 2000s, 80s even. But nowadays it's 64 different touch points. So that's the amount of, cognitive bumps an individual needs before they feel acclimatized to you as an individual. So again, not rambling on, it's the roles and trends that I see is there's a role for RevOps manager, there's a role for email infrastructure manager. People will seriously pay big money for this, the large companies, trust me. Being on this side, I can see people message me saying, I'm getting, someone's paying me this much cash. I'm like, shit, I need to be doing this. And then the other thing that I see people, this opens up opportunities for, is companies to build infrastructure on top of platforms like ours or whatever else exists to then no longer have to worry about where email communication in general. Let that be handled for you automatically. You have opportunities where you can start doing consulting, which is effectively copywriting consulting, which is it's been there, but it's even more important nowadays. And the last thing I can sort of speak about is in general inbox managers. That's a whole new thing that didn't exist before. Right?
Yeah.
What's an inbox manager? If you ask someone that, they're like, well, you look at Google, like a Gmail account all day. That's quite boring. But then you realize, yeah, but it's actually a very, very important role to sit there and manage the entire. Yeah,
that's then what's crazy is that so I have so many conversations with people about managing inbox, and it's so funny. So you've done all this work, right? Let's talk about what it takes to get that lead to get in your inbox, right? You gotta decide you're going to do cold email, research, learn about it, figure out how to get data, clean the data. You learn how to use the software, right? And to send emails to finally get leads. Now you finally have people that are interested in wanting to speak to you, and now everything's gone out the window. Some of these like responses that I've seen are so like it like disgusts me. I can't think of another word. I feel like pity, shame, I don't know, for them. It's bad. I mean, like you see some of these responses, it's really bad, and it's like put some effort into your response. And I just got used when I was managing inboxes. I would just do signatures, so it's auto-populated templates, right? Copy and paste. But at least put some effort into it. You're trying to. You spent all this time, and you finally got someone interested. That's a very
Yeah.
important role.
Yeah.
Inbox manager is the person that's closing the lead. They got to close the lead to get on the call, you
Pretty
know?
much. Pretty much. Yeah.
So,
Pretty much. So yeah, like
yeah.
there's always going to be a spawn of new roles and new industry movements, and I think that's where we end up going over there. Like you said, your CTO is also working through some interesting gateways to work through just overall infrastructure management, right? So I think every difficulty opens an opportunity, as we've seen through whatever has happened in the past 3 years with us sitting all at home. So yeah. I think it's going to be exciting. We'll see where it goes. We'll see what the industry, wants, and we'll start building towards that. I'm pretty sure you and me are going to jump on a call in 6 months' time saying, "Hey, so there's a new thing that's occurred now. Let's speak about it." So that's just the nature of the game. I'd rather have it that way than have it be consistent, because that way, I guess we're all going to be employed.
Yeah. No, I mean, there will always be cold email, and
yeah,
it just changes. It's there's no there, it just changes. We're hyper focusing on data right now.
correct.
We're doing some stuff. We already have a SaaS platform to scrape data. We're working on higher quality data. Let's put that very
Yeah.
high quality data, and
Makes sense.
it's so hard. The data.
Yeah.
Data. I don't even get me started on data. Data is a whole nother industry.
I will. People keep asking, will you ever get into? I'm like, not in a million years. I know how difficult it is. Like, if I think this is difficult, data is
Yeah.
not a game I want to play in at all. So yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. I feel you.
So
Awesome,
yeah, so
man.
I guess what's on the agenda for smart leads.
Yeah, I think the agenda next is a bunch of cool things. One of the big ones, putting it out there to the industry, sort of claiming it first. The thing that we're planning on releasing, which is going to be pretty fun, is letting you warm up your own email copy, which I think is going to be pretty cool and exciting to see how that goes. That positive intent signals, because I think past 4 months, Google's moved to a more semantic-based approach with marking emails as spam and not spam, not just how many times have you sent an email, how quickly have you sent it, that signals spam, but actually the copy itself. So I think that's going to be pretty exciting, but a bunch of other cool things. Every day is a new day, man. So there's new things that are going to come out. Someone's going to do something, and we'll have to start figuring out how to work around it. So I do think the world should start getting ready for how video starts implementing itself into emails. I don't have much knowledge into that yet, but I've just seen some people do some really cool things with video prospecting, like the guys at Pitchlane, for example. So let's see what happens and where this goes. But yeah, another day, another dollar.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you, V. Just to close this out. Thanks for hopping on. Greatly appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah.
We have internally, we have some really big news coming up. I'm sure you guys are still crushing it, killing it. I have to apologize to our group and everyone who's watching this for me not putting out content. Just been super busy grinding, trying to get better quality service and products to people to make them more money by generating leads, and it's taking up all my time. I don't have a pretty face I could throw on for you guys right now. So
so good, man. You're making people money. You're not doing something wrong.
Yes.
That's all it is. Yeah. All right.
Cool. Well, V, I gotta thank you so much for being a guest today.
For sure. Thank you.
And we'll be talking later. Thank you so much.
For sure, boss. Cheers, man.
Take care.